Hello humans! Today I'm going to teach you about the function print and commenting code. Even though these are basic concepts, I still use these all the time when I'm coding, so let's get started with the print function. Print is a function that is built into Python. To use it, we say print followed by parentheses. Later in the series, we'll learn how to make our own functions, but for now, just know that functions are someone else's code that they've allowed us to use. As you'll learn, Python won't do anything unless you explicitly tell it to do so. If I add 5 plus 3 and run my code, nothing happens. Even though Python calculated the answer to be 8, it didn't show up in my console. This is because we told Python to calculate 5 plus 3, but never told it to report the results. This is where print comes in. If I say print with nothing inside the parentheses, then when I run this, I'll get a blank line. By default, print will write an empty line in our console, and that's why the 3 arrows are lower than normal. If I want to print out a number, I place that within these parentheses. Running this, I see 5 print out. I can also give print some arithmetic to do, and it will complete this before printing out the results. Here I'll say to print 5 plus 3, and running this, I see 8. Let's say I wanted to print Happy Birthday Samantha. If I say print and put Happy Birthday Samantha in my parentheses, then when I run this, I get an error. This is because Python thinks the text, Happy Birthday Samantha, is code, not just some words we want to print out. To fix this, we wrap the text in double quotes. Now when we run this, we see that Samantha is wished a happy birthday. These double quotes let Python know where our code stops and where our text begins. Single quotes do the same job, so it's up to you which you want to use. We aren't going to go over variables into the next tutorial, but I'll do a quick example now so that we show all aspects of print in one video. I can create my box, which I'll call my name, and I'll set the text Kyle inside of it. Now I can tell print to look inside the box, my name, and tell me what's inside. Running this, I see Kyle print out. Lastly, let's look at how to say Samantha is 35. If I wanted to make things easy on myself, I would make Samantha is 35 one big string of text and print it out. This works, but I'm going to intentionally make things difficult on myself for the sake of this example. Let's say I wanted to print out the same text, but I wanted 35 to be a number. I don't want it to be within the double quotes. If I end my quotes after is, then run this, I get an error. To fix this, I'll place a comma after the end of my double quotes, and now when I run this, I'll see Samantha is 35 print out. Python doesn't like it when we mix numbers and text together, so sometimes we have to do a little bit of extra work to get these to mix. In the parsing and type video that's coming up, we'll go over a better way to do this, but this is adequate for now. Moving on, let's talk about comments. Comments are little notes that you can put in your code to describe what the near code does. This won't be super useful until you work on bigger projects, but if someone handed me 3,000 lines of code, figuring out what every line of code does would be a headache. Instead, the programmer who made it can leave comments like, this section of code deals with letting users log in, or this section of code allows the user to make the character jump. As you can see, we start our comments with the pound sign. We can give comments their own line like we did here, or we can say, my name equals Kyle, pound sign, I created my name variable. Neither way is right or wrong, but if you're going to put code and a comment on the same line, be careful. Anything to the right of the pound sign will be considered a comment, everything to the left will be treated as code. Commenting out lines of code actually has benefit though. Let's say I want to print out Sally, followed by printing out Kelly, but I happen to forget the closing parentheses after Sally's name. If I run this, my code crashes before it gets a chance to print out Kelly, even though there is nothing wrong with that line of code. As a temporary fix, I can place a pound sign at the beginning of my bad line of code, and now I can run the rest of my code without issue. This is called commenting out code. There are tons of uses for this, but the main benefit is that it allows you to temporarily remove code so that you can run it without having to delete everything that's giving you trouble. Today we learned how to use the function print and how to leave little notes in our code in the form of comments. A big thank you for liking, subscribing, and ringing that bell. Comment below with suggestions for future videos, and I will see you in the next one.